Hello and welcome to episode 85 of A Week in Watches. As you can see, we're outside of the studio today. We're in fact in Chicago at Windup Watch Fair Chicago 2024. So this is not going to be your usual episode. We're going to go inside and walk around. Zach, what are we going to look at today?
We're going to be looking at a handful of brands that have been exhibiting here at the show this weekend, both some brand new brands that are making their debut at Windup, and in fact as brands in general, and some more seasoned brands as well that have been around for a while, some old favorites that have returned.
There's something like 60 brands inside. We're not covering them all. We're actually only going to look at a few, just a few select pieces, but it's been a fantastic weekend here at the Windup Watch Fair Chicago. Let's go inside and check it out.
I'm here with Mike from Monta. Mike, welcome to Windup Fair Chicago. How's it going?
Good. The show has been fantastic as always. I don't even know how many years we've been doing it, probably since
a lot of years.
Second year, so it's always fun to come to these. I look forward to it every year, so it's just been great seeing people talking watches nonstop.
You guys are here with your entire collection of watches, but the newest release is the Noble Voyager. GMT equipped version of your Noble, which is kind of like, I would say, your dressiest watch. Can you
for sure.
Go through the kind of like the concept of the Noble and why you decided to update it to a GMT?
Yeah, so kind of just post-COVID, we decided to really split the brand from, just kind of being a confusing at times brand where it's like, well, we really liked elegant watches and we really like sports watches. So we kind of decided to say, we're going to have an elegant collection. And that was the first watch was the Noble. So that's like hour, minute, second, that's it. It just tells time, looks really good doing it. The dial is exceptionally high quality, same with the hands. So as time progressed, we just wanted to offer something a little more. So we thought, you know what? It can't scream GMT. It can't be like the Atlas or the SkyQuest. It has to kind of elegantly deliver that information. So we skeletonized the hand. We put the numbering on the inside of the rehaut, and we offered a pretty cool color green. So it's like just the evolution of adding more models. So you should expect over time, we're probably going to be adding more Nobles to the collection and expanding sizes and maybe decreasing them, things like that. So.
Yeah, that's great to hear. The Noble's it's just a really smart, elegant watch design. Really complements the rest of the collection really remarkably well. How's the response been to the new watch here at the show?
I am shocked at how many people are in love with it. To be honest, I mean, when you do this, you kind of hope that people are going to buy it and they're going to want it. But you always are a little fearful of that. I mean, coming like very honestly out. But I think that the success of the Noble in itself really helped that kind of baseline. So it's been really great. And then I think it is and I keep on hearing this term, which I think is funny, is like it's the most Manta. It's like, it's crazy quality. It's kind of an eccentric dial, and then adding a GMT function because it is our third GMT.
Yeah. So, you guys have been in the GMT game for a while at this point. You talk about the quality of Manta. Can you talk a little bit about like the finishing of these watches? Because that's the thing that people always kind of are discussing. You hold a Manta in your hand. It really just doesn't feel like a watch that you typically find in that price point. It's really expertly finished. Why is that so important in a Manta?
Again, thank you for saying that. And I really appreciate it. But what we do is we really utilize the best we can possibly find. And I know everyone does, especially at their price point. If it's a $700 watch, that owner is trying exceptionally hard to make a lot of value in $700.
Sure.
But for us, what we're asking for is even 3 or 4 times that level of quality and expectation from us. So every single little detail is just pushed. And then we utilize just so many high-level Swiss manufacturers that no one else at this price point offers. Right now it's $2,100 in pre-order. When it leaves pre-order, it'll be around $2,300, a little above that.
Okay.
So, but what's kind of cool also is it's not an incredibly long pre-order. It's only a few weeks. We actually had attempted, which we slightly failed because of a Swiss holiday, that we were going to have it completely available for purchase here, like you could take it home with you.
Yeah.
But just as time progressed, it got too tight, and our team in Switzerland couldn't assemble them. So, but don't worry, they'll be here end of August, middle of August, flawlessly.
Awesome. Well, good things come to those who wait. We're excited to see the watch here a little bit before it's released. So thanks so much, Mike, for joining us today.
And let me just say, like, honestly, as someone who's been with the Worn and Wound team, as like a friend and a advertiser and as a displayer, it is so great that you guys keep on putting these shows on. We truly appreciate it, and it is so overwhelming to see the amount of people saying thank you for coming to the show, but also it wouldn't be possible without you guys, so thank you.
Oh, thanks, Mike. We love doing it, and we love having you here.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Andrew Perez, founder of Astor Banks, one of the local Chicago brands, as well as a micro brand that goes way back. It's actually been, he was at our very first Windup Watch Fair, which is really awesome. You have a new release at the show, something you've been working on for a while. It's been quite a hit. The SeaRanger, SeaRanger M2. Can you tell us about this watch?
Yeah, so the SeaRanger M2 is part of our SeaRanger line. And I wanted to kind of do another iteration of the original SeaRanger, which was a pretty big hit, I'll say. And so with this one, we kind of wanted to step it up a little bit with the features. We wanted to do kind of a compressor style case, but not a compressor, and use the internal rotating bezel for a second time zone, kind of like on the original SeaRanger. On this one, we ended up using a Le Joupre G100 in it. The top crown is used to rotate the inner ring, and the whole thing is coated so it's more scratch resistant.
I do particularly like, and you can probably see that the inner chapter ring is entirely loomed and really does glow bright. That's a unique feature. Yeah, nice tool watch, but not like overly tactical either.
Yeah.
You know,
it's kind of you can do anything you want with it, right? It's 1,000 feet water resistance, which I don't know who needs it, but if you wanted to, you could do that. Second time zone, and it wears really nice. The case was something I worked on really a lot, and I wanted to have a really nice cushion round on the sides. That took a while, and it feels really nice on the wrist with it. It doesn't feel like a 40 millimeter. It kind of feels a little smaller because a smaller diameter on the dial. And so far, everyone's been super complimentary about it. Getting a bunch of pre-orders, so we're very happy.
And if somebody wants to pick this up, where do they go, and what is it priced at?
So pricing retail is $13.95. Comes on the bracelet. You also get an F-cam rubber strap, tropic style.
Well, awesome. Thanks so much, Andrew, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Brandon Little, who is launching the watch brand ARTEFKT actually at Windup Watch Fair Chicago. This is the first time anyone has seen the watches in the world, which is very exciting. They are very cool. Your booth has been very busy the entire weekend, so I'm glad we got some time. But I'm going to hand over to Brandon now just to kind of tell us about this brand that he is launching.
Yeah, so we are about 2 years in the hopper, 1 year and 6 months in engineering. Basically, it is an all grade 5 titanium, all sport watch. So we've got 20 ATM, and we're focused on doing post-manufacturing customization. So it's built modularly so that we can look at it, take it apart, do that customization in Detroit in our studio. 1% goes back to the planet, and every ounce is grade 5 titanium. And we have vulcanized rubber, caoutchouc with vanilla scent, and then we've got customized titanium locking bracelet as well. And the way that we're going to work it is small batch production. So we're going to be doing 250 per year of a series, and then only 100 of a year per limited edition. So only 100 of this and 100. We open up the books. We want to minimize waste and minimize sort of our impact on what we make. And we are hoping to get to 500, and once we get to 500 per production series, we're going to stop there. Basically, we've engineered this thing mathematically to where we can make a banger watch, all grade A, absolute maximum tolerance, and keep it affordable. So it's $1,500 on rubber, and that's a Salida 200. I call it, kind of think of it as a drop-in block engine. Okay. So I know I can service it. I know I can get parts. It's not going to be like a pain to go get that and fix it. Yeah. But we have it calibrated in-house to ±5, so that would be a cost-graded grade A movement if we were doing this in Switzerland.
Just before we go, what is the size of the watch?
It's 36 by 48. Okay. And then we worked to every grade tolerance to where it's a sub 11 millimeters in thickness. Yeah. The drop mono pusher is built into the case, and we've got a 90-degree bend. So we did that as I'm really agnostic to gender, but we wanted to make sure that this thing can work on anybody. Yeah. And then when you see it in the bracelet, the bracelet also is a complete drop. So you can have a really, really tight wrist. We also rethought even the distribution of the holes. There's usually a standard, but since we're doing our own tool, I rethought that so that I could get that one as close as possible to where we can have a strap of like that circumference. So really kind of rethought everything.
That's very cool. Yeah, one of the things I just found kind of striking in person was the ergonomics of it, which you don't necessarily expect seeing like kind of a slab rectangle, but it really is very, very well thought out and really wonderfully thin too, especially for an SW200. So yeah, really well executed.
Thanks.
So when can people expect to be seeing these hit the streets?
Well, I mean, after the show, it's been fantastic. So we are gonna go home tonight and start doing photography, and I plan on opening up the books for pre-order this month. And then, as you know, we're going to be in New York, so we'd like to run the books all the way through the New York show, and hopefully, if it all goes to plan, we'll ship 6 to 7 months after that. Everything is off tool, so there are no surprises. It's literally, this is exactly what you're going to get. These are not prototypes, these are actually first run production. So really it's just a matter of taking a minute and getting it online. But yeah, the response has been great, so I anticipate hopefully opening up the pre-order within the month.
It's really great to have you here. Rich, you are the founder of 5280, and your brand made its debut here at the show just days ago. How's the show been going for you?
The show's been going great. The crowd's been great. We're happy to get our brand out there. A lot of interest. Just really excited.
Yeah. It's not often that we see a brand really like launch like live at the show from its very inception. So I think probably viewers at home understandably might not be totally familiar with 5280. Why don't you give folks a sense of what your brand is about and sort of like the concept behind what it is you do?
The real concept behind our brand is trying to bring luxury to your wrist and art to your wrist. So we do rose engine turn, guilloche, vitreous enamel watches, all hand turned on a 1910 rose engine, and then overlaid with translucent vitreous enamel, kind of in the vein of the way Fabergé eggs used to be made. So my goal was to put a Fabergé egg in a wristwatch, and we've accomplished that.
It's really impressive to see what you've done. There's a lot of obviously a lot of labor that goes into these dials. Can you tell us a little bit about like the process of making them and why they're so special?
Yes. So everything is done by hand with a dial and the star of the watch. It starts with a pure silver blank that is then hand machined down to the appropriate size and appropriate thickness, and then our resident artist, Bill, goes and puts the dial on a rose engine and hand turns that engine to put the pattern on it, engraves it with the pattern, and then chooses the color that he's going to use, takes the powdered enamel, prepares the disc, puts it in the kiln, fires it, and hopefully we have a good dial.
Yeah. Is there a high failure rate with these dials?
We have about 20% failure rate on the engraving, and then we have about a 60% failure rate on the enameling.
And when will they be available?
They're available now for pre-order on the website.
Well, Rich, thank you so much for joining us. It's been really a treat to see these watches in person, to be among the first to see them in person. Really an honor, and thanks so much for having me.
We really appreciate it.
And that's a wrap for A Week in Watches, episode 85, right here in the middle of Windup Watch Fair Chicago 2024. Obviously, this fair is a wrap, and it's been a fantastic time. We showed you a few watches. There's a lot more here. Keep an eye on social media. Check more of those out. But we will be back, obviously, for the next Windup Watch Fair, which will be in New York City, October 18th. It's going to be a spectacle. You're going to definitely want to be there if you can. And other than that, we'll see you in a couple weeks in the next episode of A Week in Watches. Thank you so much.